Hi ho! We have a new Focus Karma Wizards Holo, and we also have a runner event to get the dragon off and finish off part of a collection. But I did want to talk about this Wizards Holo in particular, because it's quite a spicy one. Of course, it's a Karma, so lots of people that like Karmas are going to be after them anyway. Now, this guy is an energy/electric primary element, which some people don't like because, you know, there's quite a lot of earth dragons, which are scary for new players. It's not so bad overall. It's still a Karma at the end of the day, and of course, Karmas aren't the easiest to get hold of. So, you know, Karmas generally are worth spending some gems for, like a couple of hundred if you can get them for that in the Wizards Holo. But of course, the amount you'd have to spend to actually get it would completely depend on RNG, randomness. But alongside the Karma Dragon, we do also have two very spicy chests, because we have the Dual Parliament chest, which has up to 200 orbs, but of course most of the time you are probably going to get ×1, ×2, or ×3 drops, so not too spicy in that sense. But of course, if you get that big boy ×200, that is a free Dual Parliament just outright, which would be nuts. Alongside that chest, the golden chest that we have, or the golden rune chest that we have, is this heroic egg chest. And inside this, you can actually get just random heroic dragons, and you could even get a high drowsy drop, which of course is very, very tempting. Like, if you just get a free high drowsy, my goodness, the value of those orbs, you can get so much stuff with drowsy orbs these days. But essentially, if you open up this egg chest, you are just guaranteed one of these older, I guess I should say, heroics, because, you know, I've got High Famine, High Treasure, who's another really good one. I say that all heroics are useful, even these guys. Their attack stats might differ a little bit, but it's mainly just the slightly older dragons that you can get out of this. Of course, we've got High Commander with his skill, and then, you know, just all the other dragons, and they're good for collection purposes, of course. But how much is it worth gemming just to get a heroic egg chest? Honestly, probably not a whole lot, because again, any random heroic isn't necessarily going to be that useful for you. It might be a dragon that you want, like Drowsy, but a lot of the time it's probably just going to end up being a very random one. Just because we're here and we've gotten quite a lot of gems recently, I'm going to spend a couple of gems this time just to give you a general idea of, you know, how your luck might go. This is how my luck is going this time. Of course, we immediately got a blue drop, which was nice, but with Wizards Holo, there is never any guarantee that you are going to have a nice time. Like, look at this, we're already at 10. I'm going to do 10 this one time. Normally I would quit out here, but I'm going to do it just because we're here. If we run into another wizard really soon, I am going to bail. Let's try to at least get to 10, see if we can get some gem drops. If we get screwed over by a wizard here, okay, that would have been very, very annoying if that had happened. But we did get one of these Parliament chests, and honestly, it's kind of tempting to quit out at this point. But the thing is, we've spent 15 gems for a single Parliament chest. Is that really worth it, considering we're probably going to get ×1 drop? Probably not. But there you go. It's that easy to run into 3 wizards by room 11. It happens. So in my case, today, I'm going to quit out. But if you can get to, like, say room 30 without spending any gems, or say room 25, you only had to spend once to revive, you can keep going at that point. And if you've got a few hundred gems saved, you might have a decent shot of getting to Kung Flow. But you could still get screwed over with bad RNG in the second half of your run, so it is what it is. So this time I'm going to give up those 15 gems just because, you know, I'm not going to spend another 20 just for a single Dual Parliament chest. Of course, if you get some big gem drops early as well, then, you know, that doesn't make the spending for the gems as bad. But I'm not going to continue with a run that poor. You know, we do have a few days to test it out because, you know, he's going to last another 2 days. And that means that we've got another 2 days of attempts to try our luck and hope that we get a better run than that. But again, like I said, normally I would not have spent the additional 10. I would have skipped out at the ×5, but, you know, that's what I get. I'm still going to get screwed over this time. But you never know. Next time, maybe we won't get screwed over. We have won a couple of times before, so I'm not going to complain. But just be very aware that that Wizards Holo is currently ongoing. I will say, however, that you might want to save your gems for Black Friday that's coming up, or another one, but your choice at the end of the day. The other dragon that we've got is Mr. Duo Demand, and we are 4 currency away from getting this boy, so we might as well go ahead and, you know, do our run here. And usually I've already unlocked the dragon, but I'm just gonna do the run while we're here. And as usual, when we're doing runner event, if you want to know exactly where you can get up to, well, I say exactly, very, very roughly, but almost exactly, you can use the Deetlist website to calculate how many pinwheels you are going to get by the end based on the amount of flight stamps that you currently hold. But of course, it does depend on how you actually do in your runner event run, because, you know, you might do a run and maybe you'll get killed on the 70 obstacle, which I know a lot of players do, especially those new to runner events. But you should really get to a stage where you can clear, oh, I don't know why I went up so early, but where you can clear the 70 obstacle pretty consistently, like you just saw me do it there. And I know that I skipped a couple of pinwheels, I was busy talking, but those 70 obstacles are not difficult to deal with, especially if you get used to them. So I do highly recommend practicing them, especially during, say, this one, up for an upcoming runner event whenever it ever happens, and then just get used to it and you should be able to clear it every single time without fail. But we're going to keep going here, see if we can at least get 110, and then, you know, hopefully get to 120, well, the final set of pinwheels, and then we're just going to quit out. Because there's no point in us continuing to score, because 120 is the maximum amount of pinwheels that can spawn in a run. So as soon as you've had the last set of pinwheels spawn in, there is no point to continue your run unless you just really want a hard grind for like a measly bit of food. But it's really not worth it. Whatever, I'm not going to go down. We're just going to give up there. We lost 3 pinwheels. It's fine. Still the 115 plus that we are looking for. And there we go. We have our boy Duo Demand. We claim him, a double legendary boy with his bird staff and his birdie follower. And then when we quit out, we are also going to be able to claim this part of the House of Lords collection, because we did get the other 2 dragons that we needed. So we get Joker Orbs and a Phoenix perk. Oh, so tasty. Very scrumptious. I do enjoy that a lot, especially since we are looking to empower our corrupted legend, of course. But realistically, with runner events when they're going on, you should be looking to at least get 110 plus every single run, and that should give you a good amount of pointage to be able to get a lot of these rewards. And like I mentioned, you can use the Deetlist website to calculate exactly how many pinwheels you're going to have, and I did pop this into the Deetlist website's calculator earlier. Again, if you go to the main runner event page on Deetlist and scroll down, we've got this Runner Island pinwheel calc, and then I calculated it, and if I continue getting 115 every run, we should be able to get just under 6,100 pinwheels. And if you want to know what exactly that can get you, then we can use Ditlep and open up the runner event page, scroll down to this, and then we'll see that the banquet box, or one of the XL banquet boxes, is at 6,100. So either we're going to get the banquet box, or we could potentially just miss it. Depends on if we do every single quest from this point onwards. And then also, you know, maybe we'd be willing to spend 1 set of gems to get a banquet box, because of course banquet boxes are going to give you the max drop based on your level. So like 3 million food, for instance, is very, very useful. Very, very useful indeed. So from this, we should, after we get Duo Demand, be able to get the 20 gems, the Lord's Chest, banquet box, eternal insignias, and at least plus 40 orbs of the dragon. So essentially we're going to get all of these rewards up to about here, which is usually where we finish off. Of course, you can spend as many gems as you want in runner events to get to any reward, but you know, it's not really worth it to go to like this point and spend that many gems. It gets to an extortionate price. It is in theory possible to get the runner chest, which of course has 100 gems, food, and random dragon in it, but it's not worth it. And of course, a heroic egg chest, which we already went through what's in there earlier. So yeah, roughly at the end of runner events, I typically finish around this stage. It depends on whether you get the runner event flight stamps as well, but somewhere around these XL food boxes is what's possible free to play without spending any gems. So, you know, that's roughly where we're going to end up here. That's if you're getting at least 110 per run. On average, probably about an average of 115-ish. So anyway, that is the Wizard's Hollow and the current runner event pretty much done for me. We're all happy about our progress so far. We've also currently got the maze event going on still, and we have your boy Pluto God to get unlocking, because I'm pretty sure I don't have him. I think I checked the other day. So there we go. There is your boy Pluto God. And, you know, like I mentioned with maze events before, you can choose to either go directly for event items, or you can pick specific dragons to pick up. And if you're a collector like me, you just want new dragons. So spending them to finish off the end part of, you know, this blue path, for instance, you can do that if you really want to do that. It is your choice as to what you want to do at the end of the day. I don't think I have stone either. The only thing is, if we look at stone's path, some of the rewards are, well, they're quite terrible, if I have to be honest. Normally I would go for stone, but I just can't. You know, some of these rewards are just ass. Like some tokens, 50 ice tokens. Then we've got this light tokens, 50 light. Oh, it's just so bad. I can't bring myself to do it. So instead, we could go down Grinchy path and, you know, potentially get big gem drop. Well, I say big gem drop, times 6 gem drop, a legendary drop, a few chances at a legendary drop. There's Gemtopia chests on some of these as well. There's black chests. We could get a heroic from that. So, you know, it's more tempting for us to go down this path. And while we did the runner event, that does also mean that we got additional currency for the maze event, because, you know, you do get maze event currency from the runner events as well. So that's another reason to always do your runner events. Runner events are just so good. They just have so many good rewards in them. And I know that it's very, very grind heavy. It took me until from 12 o'clock up to 1:30 before I was done with all of my flight stamps. And by that, I mean, I'm not even done with all of them yet, but enough to at least get the dragons. So it is very, very much grind heavy. It looks like we're not getting lucky on these chests this time, but I'd still prefer like a few 100,000 food to, you know, a basically 50 light tokens, which is nothing. That's just me though, personally. I guess we'll open up this mystery food box and see what we get. Of course, I could have gone down the other path if I really wanted to. I decided to go a little bit RNGesus here, and we've been screwed over a bit. There is another event chest there. Maybe we'll go for that, and then we'll just spend the rest of the currency elsewhere. But for the most part, this list of arenas maze event is also pretty much done for me. We're just going to pick up a few extra items on our way through, and we should mostly be done with it from that point. So we have been doing a lot of empowerments recently. We've also been doing a lot of summoning. I don't think we have anything in particular that we need to be summoning right now. I mean, we can always summon Spore Plasma. I could either do some trades, or we could just, you know, summon it during Summoning Happy Hour with our Jokers. But you can see that we've got 796 legendary Joker orbs, and you know what that means? That means that if we get 4 more, we can do wonderful empowerment on your wonderful boy Corrupted Legend, because he needs 800. So if we do a few more of the arena battles, we get a few more Jokers. That is Corrupted Legend guaranteed during the next Empower Happy Hour. So, oh boy, he is going to be a big boy at level 70 plus perked up. I cannot wait. Jeremy is going to be an absolute madman. But, you know, I do love my new dragons, so I would like to just keep basically unlocking more and more and more and more and more new dragons. I don't even have Duodecade hatched yet. Maybe we'll wait a little bit longer. For Vass, I kind of like summoning dragons that I have a few orbs for, so that then I can at least, you know, empower them once. But I'm just going to do Beauticia here. She's here. Beautiful little beauty dragon she is. Actually, look at her when she comes out of her egg. She jumps out like a big butterfly. Look at her. Oh. And she's got a little butterfly follower as well. But we will be able to get a few more flight stamps from ads today if you haven't already seen. So I highly recommend getting those. At least I think it was this morning. And of course, we've got the Dragon TV coins, the way we can get stuff out of that as well. So I highly recommend taking part in those. But, you know, when it's the last couple of days of the maze event and the runner events, typically things tend to die down a little bit. So no, I think the main thing that people are going to be focusing on at the moment is just going to be this Wizard's Hollow. Aside from that, just be finishing up with your events, and then we're going to have the cool guy collection coming. And by that, I mean the very cool dinosaur will be on his way. So I am so ready. We got this guy to hatch. You know, things are going quite good. The only thing is I still need to unlock this island, and, well, I'm not looking forward to it. Ugh. But anyway, I think that that's everything that I wanted to go through for today, so I do wish you the very best of luck with your holo. Don't go too crazy with it because you may end up having to spend thousands to get this dragon if you get screwed over that badly. Most people might end up having to spend like 300 to 500 gems-ish if they're smart about it. But even then, 500 gems is quite steep if we've got a potential good time of Black Friday coming up. So don't go too wild. That would just be my general advice. But anyway, see ya!